back to my channel. My name is Victoria Gomez, and this is my first episode of my 5-episode series on self-growth. So I titled this video Taking Control of Insecurity because the whole point of this is to understand what insecurities are, where they come from, and what they mean. Insecurities are doubts from the mind. It's the need for validation, the need for acceptance or approval. For example, when you're given something to do, you might think to yourself like, man, I really can't do this, or I don't think I'm strong enough to pick that box up. So it can be anything. When you don't feel secure in your ability to complete a task or even just complete it well, those are insecurities. The good thing about this is that those feelings of insecurities equals I need to improve. To start off, it's all a mental concept. Overcoming these insecurities requires a perspective change. It's a battle in our mind, and what we have to learn to do now is how to turn the tables on our own minds. I mean, we all have those thoughts of, am I enough? Or what if I'm not strong enough? What if I'm not pretty enough? What if I'm not smart enough? I mean, you know, the list could go on forever. And here's the thing, we have the ability to acknowledge those thoughts, and you should acknowledge them, but what are you gonna do with it? Because those insecurities are only true if you believe it. So why do we believe these scenarios and these stories that we make up in our heads before it even happens? Like, we fear outcomes that might not even happen. Like, is it even necessary? The smartest thing you can do after acknowledging those negative thoughts is use those insecurities as fuel to your fire. I didn't say this in the video, but I feel like I should say it now. It's just that if your insecurities are gonna be there anyways, if you're just gonna have to deal with them, at least use them. They're there, so use them to your advantage. Use them to bring self-discipline, and use them to change the world by simply helping others with the same challenges. You just never know who around you is facing the exact same challenges, so it's good to be open about your insecurities and to validate yourself. Okay, so I found a quote by Van Gogh. Van Gogh, is that how you say his name? I don't really know. But anyway, so it says, I got it completely wrong. So I put the picture of the exact quote as I'm saying it wrong, so please don't butcher me. If you have a voice in your mind saying you can't paint, by all means paint, and that voice will be silent. And I love that because it's so true. Like, when I replace painting with singing, I think, okay, that voice is telling me I can't sing, so I need to go sing. Because I still get it. It's not like you're just gonna do it once and it's all gone. Doing it over and over again, you're gonna eventually learn that, yes, I can sing. Even if it's not the greatest, I can sing, because you don't have to be the greatest. It's just the fact that you're able to control that insecurity, which is ultimately the biggest goal. Whatever word or whatever activity it is that you can replace painting with, do it, because it's simply not a reality to live a life completely fearless. Another thing about insecurities is we need to learn how to interpret feedback the way we want to. So interpret it the way you want to. Let me give you an example. If you get an 80 on a math test and somebody says to you like, bro, you gotta study, you were so close to getting a C, you have to decide in that very moment how you're gonna take that feedback. If you want to believe them, the next time you take a test, you're very likely to be even more nervous, because now you're thinking to yourself, oh man, like the last test, I almost got a C. I'm probably gonna get it this time too. You're speaking it into existence. But if you change the way you interpret what that person said and you take it as, I do need to study more. And so when you get that B, instead of thinking, man, I was almost a C, now you can think, I did that, like I got that B. And now my next goal is to study more and maybe get a B+, or, I mean, shoot, you can shoot for 100 if you want. So it's just deciding, how are you gonna take this feedback? Are you gonna let it bring you down, or are you gonna let it build you up? With all that being said about insecurities, you're gonna pay the price of insecurity until you decide it's time for you to intentionally focus on building your self-confidence. And with that being said, now we have to know what self-confidence is. Self-confidence is the belief that you can complete any task no matter the circumstances. Now, that's like a very condensed definition, but what you do need to know is that this is a skill, because self-confidence takes a lot of practice. For example, if you're fearful for a speech, if you practice that speech over and over and over again, that speech is going to be so easy for you when it comes down to presenting it in class. And that's going to bring you to feel confident when you nail that speech. And if you don't, it's okay. It just means you didn't practice enough. So the more you practice, the more persistent you become. But you have to believe in yourself in order to create your own miracle. If you don't believe in yourself and someone starts talking down on that speech you made, all that time and energy, all that repetition and all that practice you spent on that speech is just going to be shifted. However, we can shift those negative thoughts to positive thoughts. So if someone's like, man, your speech was trash, then you have to ask yourself, is the feedback I receive 100% true? Because I know that speech wasn't trash. And as long as you try, you know it's not trash. But when you can tell yourself, like, no, I killed that thing, that's building yourself up. And like I said before, it's that perspective change. Instead of looking at it in such a negative way, change it to what you're doing good, what you're doing right. Okay, so I have 2 more questions for you. For question number 2, is what I'm saying in my mind useful or necessary? Question number 3 is, does it improve upon the silence? Answering questions number 2 and 3 will really help you reach the point where you can say, I don't believe everything I think. I love these 2 questions because seriously, if you really think about it, the thoughts that go through our heads are so unnecessary and so useless. Like, you could be months away from graduation and you could think, like, what if I fall off the stage? And of course, that's everyone's like biggest fear at graduation. That's like 3 months away. Stop worrying about it. It's almost like you're just punching yourself over and over again with these awful thoughts. That's just gonna build your fear throughout those next few months to where it's gonna happen. Okay, and to wrap up this video, I have one more question for you. How much of your self-confidence comes from what's inside and not from what's outside? So you have to allow your self-confidence to come from who you are, not who you're with or what you're wearing, where you are, because it's really about who you are as a person. Somebody who looks amazing but has an awful personality is really not cool. I'm not gonna say you suck. Have self-confidence because of your heart and because you love the way you think and because you love the way you look. You love your laugh. You love how caring you are. Even though it's not about what you look like or where you are or who you're with, it still matters to embrace yourself and to love yourself. For me, one of my biggest insecurities is my physical appearance. Like, I hate going out if I truly feel that I look ugly. Like, I know it sounds so bad, but I won't go out because I'm like so low. And this happens even now. Like, I'm making these videos, but just like 2 days ago I was like, I don't want to go to the store. Like, I really feel ugly. And so that's why, like, today I decided to do like all natural. So I have my natural hair, my natural face. I have so much like pimples right now, but you can't even tell because the camera is just doing me good today. I have one of my least favorite shirts on because it makes me look like I'm sagging or something. It's just not my ideal look. I would definitely rather have makeup on and a cute shirt that I absolutely love. But I realize like I have to present what I'm preaching, because I told you I'm a preach. I have to do exactly what I'm trying to help y'all do, and that's conquering those insecurities. Because I'm sitting here and I'm like, you know what? I am pretty. Just because I look big in this shirt don't mean nothing. With that being said, that is the end of this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I just can't wait to get into the even deeper stuff in this series. There is so much more I have coming for y'all, and I'm super excited. I hope this was a good start. It was kind of like an ease into it, and I'll see you next week for episode 2.